I want to bring in Mariska Botha, who's keeping a close eye on this story. Mariska, thank you very much indeed for your time. Spell for us the message that these women want to convey.
Well, they're saying as queer people, they don't have much options when it comes to their safety. They are a vulnerable group and they're not getting the protection they needed in societies and communities. Now, we were allowed into the house last week. We visited the house and we sat down and spoke to this group where they carried on to explain to us COVID-19 has exacerbated the issues that already exist in society. And they say that queer people are particularly vulnerable when it comes to violence, abuse, being targeted. And that's why they started the occupation, to highlight this plight, saying there isn't enough safe spaces for queer people in the city. There isn't enough care given to people with these needs, and women and children as well. And with the latest scourge of gender-based violence that have occurred, they also say that there are very few spaces available where people can truly heal and come to terms with what happened to them and be able to move on.
Yeah.
And they say spaces like the place in Camps Bay that they are occupying is ideal for situations like that, because usually shelters and things are very cramped. It's in dangerous areas where people do not feel safe. They say they do not dispute the fact that people have the right to own property in beautiful areas, but they say that everybody should be able to own property like this, and there should be spaces available like this space in Camps Bay, which is particularly nice, where people should be allowed to have safe spaces and areas for healing and recovering from trauma.
So talk to us about the occupation of this rental property in upmarket Camps Bay. How long have they been occupying this property, and what are some of the legal issues here?
Well, they've been occupying the space now for 2 weeks. They paid for 3 days accommodation, and after the 3 days were up, they started their occupation by simply saying they will not leave. Now, this is a rental property, and the owner of the property is not South African. They don't live in the country, but it's managed by a local property management group. Now, the property management group have since said that the group is being dishonest, and they have taken them to court, and we are at the High Court today, where they've applied for eviction notice for the group, because they say they were dishonest when they rented the property, and they must be evicted because there's other people that have rented the space that cannot now be accommodated there because of this action by this group. So they have no legal representation of their own, saying they simply cannot afford it. So they will stand in court alone today stating their case, and they say they will keep continuing with this occupation until their plight is being heard. But this small company that runs it on behalf of the owner has now said that this is now causing a knock-on effect for them too, because COVID-19 has been devastating for the tourism industry, and it's a medium company that employs mostly women and South Africans that are now being affected as a result of this occupation, and that is why they have come to court to have the group evicted.
All right, Mariska Botha live for us in a very windy Cape Town.